don't think that the maybe 30 years ago or 40 years ago, the question of simple redistribution of resources would have been enough. But today, with all of the discussion around global warming, climate change, peak oil, huge ecological crisis which we are living today, it's not simply a matter then of redistributing resources. Or social justice is obviously a major issue in that. But I think that when you're sitting on the Titanic, then it's not a matter of who gets a room in the Titanic or who gets fed a better meal in the Titanic. It's first, what do we do about the sinking ship on planet Earth that we are sitting on today? And I think if we can raise those questions and bring that into our discourse, but around it, I would just come back, the fundamental nature of modern economics. I think if we can try to address what is the premises in which is it built on, which whether it's a culture of individualism or a culture of greed or a culture of measurement, assumption that everything can be measured. There's a whole range of premises. So maybe the speakers can elaborate on that to try to get us at a different level of questioning around this global system that's in place.
I would like to know. Yeah. Hello. Very helpful to Asi especially, and my question is to her. Can you hear me now? This question is for you, and mostly I agree what you have said. And but what is the way out? Should we disband this World Bank, Asian banks, or because they have such kind of hegemony in India on the policymakers, and the entire scene after the globalization emerged in the last 5-10 years has been totally changed. The language of protest being reduced, and no protest movements can be launched, and nobody is talking about poverty, and these have become very marginal issues. Now the celebrities, the birthdays of the actresses, they are on the channels. So how should we develop an alternative media for that, or should we continue with this? Because the crisis is very in many folds, and the language, even the Indian languages are nobody discuss things in that language, and many talented creative people being sidelined. They are not being asked, and policymakers who are more guided by the US, Americanization of things are taking place, and all the core things, our food, our language, our dress, our houses are totally different what they were before 20 years back. So we have to think in, because it looks that the changes which took place in the last 5-10 years were civilizational changes, from agrarian society to industrial society, or from industrial to post-industrial society. So these changes are very dramatic, very shocking, and people are just, apart from digital division, there are more impact on the state and the society and the stakeholders. We are no longer citizens, we are being stakeholders, and the things are happening. So please, we should find out some way. Thanks.
Thank you, Anurag. I'll request Kishore Bhai.
Invitation brochure by Acharya Mahapagya, which he concludes. He knew, Lord Mahavira knew, that it was not possible for the householders to refrain completely from possession. So he propounded the principle of limiting individual desires and needs. If an individual can limit his desires and needs, it will pave the way for an economically sustainable society. And I'm sure that key principle has been elaborated in the 13th point he has propounded this morning. Now my question is that one of the key aspects of modern economic development, key features is growth. But this growth is nowadays unlike the earlier economic development, which was more need-based, today the modern economic development is based on endless increase of desire, enhancement of desire, of all kinds. We have that threefold concept in our Indian philosophy. Actually, it is a fourfold concept, moksha. But if we take dharma, arth and kam, just for the purposes of this discussion, we knew earlier that dharma, the whole context of constraint, disciplines, was which ordered both the polity as well as the economy. I would like to suggest that today, in the modern civilization, in the last 300 years of its development, dharma has been cast aside. So we have politics, we have economics, and now in the latest manifestation of economics, latest phase of economics, which is not referred to usually in what we call globalization, it is the calm, the endless increase of desires. Because economy, unless there is more, and the word which is used, of course, we all know, is consumption. What is consumption? Consumption is related to catering to the desires of all kinds. I think unless we address that consumption, endless consumerism, only that can ensure constant growth. And if there is not consumption, we know there is economic crisis. Everywhere where consumerism, consumption goes down, purchasing goes down, purchasing power goes down, the economy comes down and there is an economic crisis. I think we've got to address this key question, and what the learned speakers, economists have an answer to that. Because we know that even in the West, commentators, observers like George Monbiot, for example, are now, we had in the Club of Rome, the limits to growth, the concept in the 60s, in the Club of Rome. The whole document was produced. But that was set aside in this economic growth phase of the last 2 decades. I think we've got to, the question is not this calm question. And I'm deliberately using both the words, because desire doesn't fully capture the concept of calm. I would like to end my what I'm saying on a Urdu couplet. I'll translate it for our speaker, our participants from abroad. Ish daure fani mein, it is by Jigar Muradabadi, famous poet. Ish daure fani mein ए जिगर कोई इनकलाब ना आ सका के बुलंद हो के भी आदमी अभी ख्वाहिशों का गुलाम है. In this perishable age, Jigar says, in this unsustainable age, no change, no revolution could occur, because man, human beings, humanity, in spite of having grown to such stature of progress and achievement, is still slave to desires. What is our answer from economics to that? Thank you.